Hi everyone, this is your astrological reading for the week of January 29th through February 4th, where the moon will be going through the signs of Taurus to Leo, and it's the week, building up before the full moon in Leo next Sunday. I think it'll be 16 degrees Leo if I remember correctly, but anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let me swap out cameras here and I'll be right back. Okay, so the thing that I'm noticing the most for this starting off the week coincides with something that happened yesterday. I'm reading this on Thursday, the Thursday before. I think today is the 26th. Because I get this uploaded for my members first, and which of course is ad-free, and then you guys get it on Friday morning. The rest of the public does. But anyway, that was Ellen, right? Ellen DeGeneres used to say that. Anyway, okay, I'll stop. What I'm looking at here, or what's drawing my attention first, that coincides with what happened online, or not online, it's just something came out on the news, but it affects all of us online. Well, all of us on Facebook. So here's the sun, of course, in Aquarius. In that first decan or decan, however you want to pronounce that, but that first 10 degrees, actually, yeah, it's a 10. First 10 degrees. In Aquarius, we're in the realm of the internet. We're in the realm of social media. We're in the realm of putting things out there, and there's a light shining on the fact that we have this square to the south node, like I was talking about last week, and then of course a square to the north node, and these are exact, right? I mean, 8 degrees, 49 minutes, that's almost 9, right? Within 1 degree right here. And the sun is inching more this way, and it will be squaring Uranus more directly than it already is. It's already within orb, and that's, you can see that, you can barely see the lines here. There's one going to Saturn. Yeah, man, the more I'm looking at this, the more it really does show what happened. Mark Zuckerberg and the other dude at Meta, whatever, it's Meta. It's really turned out to be like Bernie Madoff. Has announced, and they are allowing, I don't know if he's going to take him up on it, but they're allowing Trump back on Facebook. So I may very well be leaving Facebook, but in fact, I probably surely will. I'm just waiting to, hear where other people are going. So, or maybe I'll just stay here on YouTube because it's more than enough for me. I left Instagram a long time ago because it's just such a waste of time, at least for me. My granddaughters are no longer playing around there anymore, so they're all grown up and working. But anywho, so to get back here to this T-square, this point, we always have to remember that when we have a square, we have a planet squaring two other points or other planets, it's a T-square. And that means simply that it's at the apex of a tension field. And of course we have, even though the line's not drawn in here because they don't do that in astrology programs, they don't put the opposing line between the nodes, it really brings into focus so here's the past, here's how the world was burned, scorched and burned by Trump in the past, right? We're all there. And so this morning I'm just thinking, I saw it on the news and I'm like, okay, so if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, basically this is going to happen again. If he gets back on, he's going to start up, and they're saying that they're going to kick him off again, but really they're doing it for the money and the ad revenue. So I guess the key for anybody on Facebook, if they want to leave, is that we go somewhere where they don't do ads. And boy, that would be nice. you know, on YouTube, you can get the monthly, what is it called? I forget. It's a monthly, and you can get it for yearly and get a discount too, but it's like a monthly ad-free experience, basically, if you want to do that. But anyway, this is a good example of astrology for skeptics. Because the North Node in Taurus is all about money. The Scorpio South Node is also about shared resources with everyone. So it's your personal money and everyone else's money. We could translate money into energy, your personal energy and the energy you share with others, to the South Node in Scorpio. Personal Taurus, Scorpio combined, shared, right? And up here we have the sun shining the spotlight out to humanity, right? Aquarius, humanity. And I do still, see, I mean, it's 9 degrees here. It's going to be 14 pretty soon. Right there, by the end of the week. We have to include Uranus. So Uranus is waking people up, and I'm sure there's tons of MAGA people that are just going to want to stay on, or they're going to like the fact that Trump can come back. And so, I'm wondering, like, is Meta going to turn into MAGA, right? I mean, what the heck is going on? It's something that Mark Zuckerberg did personally, just for his own money. He's a Pisces, by the way, so maybe he's having some delusional crisis going on here. He might, if he hasn't already, he's had Neptune cross over his sun. And that should help a person be much more spiritual and compassionate. But no, not him. He's just much more deluded and trying to hide it. And he's into gaslighting. I swear, I've only stayed on Facebook all this long for my friends, but I'm like, you know what? I can't. When it comes to integrity, nothing sets me off more. So that is further iterated here with the Sun trine Mars. Mars in Gemini disseminates information, kicks up information, and then it's in conjunct, so needing to make an adjustment to the past, right? So all of this here, really important. I feel like I'm drawing little eyebrows on everything. This is funny. So that's there, an adjustment to the past. Do we want things to go back the way they were? This is a test, right? This is like if you're dating a bad guy and you've had 2 red flags already. This is the 3rd one, right? The first one was Mark Zuckerberg going here, and I can't show you the picture, but I can show you the book. This book, House of Trump, House of Putin by Craig Unger. There are lots of, they're in the center. You can get it at a library, but this was only $9 on, I've been listening to it for quite some time on audio, but I wanted the pictures, right? There's a whole bunch of pictures, and I can't show you, well, I can do this. Hold on. Maybe. Hold on. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, hold on. It's from Getty Images. I'll just try it. I might get in trouble, but there's Mark Zuckerberg with Dmitry Medvedev, or Medvedev, whatever, discussing Facebook's role in the 2012 presidential election. Russia used Facebook as a purveyor of huge amount of pro-Trump, anti-Clinton propaganda in the 2016 election. Okay, so there you go. There's that. Lots of other pictures too. And not only did, you guys know what I want to call him, but Zuckerberg, I'm going to put an F instead of a Z, he charged Biden 9 times more for ads on Facebook than he did Trump. So there's that, okay? All of this has a light shining on it now. Past people, now that Mars is direct, it's not out of the shadow yet, but, it's still, it won't be out of the retro shade until March 15th. But maybe maybe the retrograde isn't really such a phenomenon as people think. I'm still experimenting with that. Over the years, I could never really tell because, I was born with so many retrograde planets that it's like, it just doesn't, I'm a very inwardly drawn person in the first place, so it never bothered me. But anyway, so Mars kicking up the past, and now there's an adjustment. And the sun is shining the light on the past and the future. And here we are again, like I was saying. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, right? It's a duck. We're zucked. That's another book. So that's out there. Then we also have this triple trine. Look at that, man. From Mercury. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, but Mercury and Mars are very compatible here, except for in Capricorn, we are being given messages about people in power with Capricorn as to their integrity or lack of. With Mark Zuckerberg, it's lack of. And the moon in Taurus, right there, 14 to 20. So the more Mercury, well, I can't talk about that because the moon's it was already here. We already went through that, or we're going through it as I speak. Because of course I upload these a week early. So yeah, I'll just cancel out that last train of thought. I'm not going to say what I thought I was going to say. Looking at the degrees, I can't. What I can say is that Mercury, as it keeps clocking forward, like right now, see how it's 1427, 1457? It's an exact, within minutes, trine, which is an easy flow of energy. In this case, the energy is information and decisions and weighing different things and connecting the dots and, all the good stuff with Mercury, the messenger, and then that flow so that with Uranus, so that people can wake up, right? So that people can see. So if you're smart enough, you see these people in power, you see their hidden motivation. I don't think you have to be very smart to see what's going on, but a lot of people just go on Facebook, connect with their friends, laugh a little bit, and yeah, I do that. I do the same thing, but there's this hidden darkness in the background. And so anyway, I'll get off my Facebook soapbox and let's see what else. So for us personally, we have decisions to make because the spotlight is shown, decisions to make as to humanity. And this is also further reiterated by the gun violence in the United States, right? That's that Taurus, Scorpio. Taurus wants to these are the gun manufacturers that they want to keep making the money, and we need to close all these different loopholes. And Scorpio can be crisis, violent crisis. 3 incidents, was it 3 or 4 incidents in California alone? It's like, what? And then there was something last week, the week before that, and the week before, it's ridiculous. It's like, is it safe to go out? What's going on here, right? Well, we know what's going on. It's Mars and Gemini kicking up a bunch of stuff. Saturn in Aquarius, we need new laws and new rules, but are they going to do that? And, notice how we have Eris here and this sextile to Saturn. So there's that absolute opportunity to get those laws in place, to tighten them up. Some have been done. Biden's done what he could when it comes to what was it, like the girlfriend, no, I'm sorry. Well, it could be girlfriend, either way. Girlfriend, boyfriend abuse law where they can, at least there's some things that can be done now, even though you're not married to the person that is threatening you with a gun, things like that. So, but things need to keep shifting. We need more. And the other aspect that's drawing my attention here is, so of course the Saturn and Venus conjunction happened, and now Venus in dreamy Pisces, but also broad-minded Pisces is trining the South Node. And this is where, we remember the past. We don't, there's no need to be in any type of denial. We can see the truth here with this aspect. There's that flow. And Venus wants to be protective. Venus rules Taurus and Libra and wants protection, wants unity. So, this should help. It should really help. It would be worse, like, let's say if Venus were in Capricorn or some other, or just I don't know. I hate to gang up on any of the signs, really, because Capricorn at its highest can be such integrity and such deep integrity or deep authority to come through with your integrity. So I'm really hesitant to say certain things. Now, here's another aspect here with Chiron, and we have to include Jupiter because it's moving pretty quickly, and it's let's see. Wait, Pluto is it's the square. No, I'm sorry. Pluto is okay. This is weird. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, guys. I had to get really close. Look, guys, my head right under the camera. It's Pluto 28 to 23 that is square, and that will remain for quite some time. But the other square is coming from, Chiron's at 12, right up here, Mercury at 14. So it's Mercury right here, squaring Chiron. And, Jupiter's in that mix too. So with this, we're having lots of communications, downloads as to how to be more courageous, how to come out from under our deepest conflicts, our deepest wounding, and we're having healing opportunities. Even though there's a tension field, it turns into a strength. It turns into a working framework where, because you want something greater than what you've had in the past, you're open to shifting your old paradigm from within that says it has to be this way, I have to be this way or that way in order to have love or approval, when kids don't get the love they need, they go for the approval. And a lot of kids will do both, and I'm sure you guys, we can all relate to that. You don't get the love, as much of the love as you need, or the encouragement when you're growing up, as a little one, and then by the time you're 7, 8, 9, 10, up through those years, you're trying to get approval of some type, and then usually if you don't get it by teenage years, you rebel. Might rebel anyway, right? But so as adults, especially when we have this opportunity with Jupiter, healing and expansive Jupiter coming in, this can bring in the impetus to get into that deeper healing and start questioning your beliefs as to what is my power, what is my control, what is my integrity, where am I in my authority, am I rewriting, W-R-I-T, well, it could be either way, rewriting my life. When you flip the script, flip the old paradigm script and create a new one, and then you can move forward. Now, on another level, those who are very unevolved will use this energy in a way that hurts others, because that's how it always works. Wherever we haven't done our own work, we project it onto others. And so Jupiter and Aries could turn into people being angry and flying off the handle because they're coming from their own wounding. Like, what about me? This is all the crap around white power. Like, what about me, man? And they don't see that they've been in, some sort of privilege their entire lives. They're truly unconscious to what minorities have gone through. And then let's don't even think about slavery for the last how many, thousands of years. Or at least a couple thousand, I would imagine. So anywho, moving forward from there, what else is drawing my attention for this one? There's the little semi-squares back there. Yeah. Oh, there's where I messed up that. So the Chiron square there. Okay. There's the sesquisquare from Neptune, but it's pretty weak. You know what? I think I'll go ahead and just move forward on this. Oh wait, let's talk about the moon a little more, and then I'll move forward and tackle the other transits, because these are lasting. Saturn is lasting. Pluto to Eris is lasting. The Sun square will be in orb for a few days. We'll see. Yeah, to 8 to 9. Well, yeah, it'll be a waning square. I mean, it is already, so it won't be as powerful. But we can see how this was in effect last week, and then we had all that gun violence, right? That's the worst case scenario, and it happened. And we can also see how the approaching Mercury square, Chiron, and Jupiter turned into gun violence. And Neptune is here holding space, for the pain of the past and just continually grieving, right? That's what we're doing. So, okay, so I am going to address the moon, but this aspect here, Chiron, sextile, Mars. That is quite the opportunity there to turn our thinking around in order to not create any more wounding, to create win-win situations instead. All right? That's what Chiron's all about in Aries, to create win-win situations, to be daring enough to let go of your abandonment issues and the need to be first. And instead belong to yourself, matter to yourself. Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about this Taurus moon right here, 20 degrees. And I did mention it quite a little bit with the trine to Mercury. But Uranus is combined, but it's coming away, from Uranus. So we've already gone through that. All of these shocking aha moments that are good. The aha moments are good for us, but the shock is not. And the shock had to do with the gun violence. And that's a perfect example here where an easy aspect doesn't, an easy flowing, supposed to be a harmonious aspect, is not always, right? Now, the good thing is we did remember that one hero guy that, after the situation happened in Monterey Park, the gunman went to another ballroom dance studio in Alhambra, it's not too far apart, and was going in there. And that guy caught him and stopped him and took the gun away from him and kept pushing him away until he finally left. So that guy saved everyone's lives in that studio. That is courage in action here. And Jupiter here, there is courage when you add Jupiter and Chiron together. And he, just jumped right in and took authority with that Mercury in Capricorn there, and then with the trine to Uranus and the North Node that was happening all week. He took a very shocking, challenging situation and turned it all around, turned it on its head. And so now with the moon in Taurus, we're kind of, we're licking our wounds. We're trying to make sense of it. Taurus, we always have to remember, is so much about security and self-preservation. And so, all through this weekend, prior to Sunday, so today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're still, we're trying to assimilate. And more will come as the moon moves in towards Gemini, because Gemini is good for that mutable energy that helps assimilate facts. So let's go ahead and move on now. Okay, Monday, and I did include the full moon chart here. It's last. I won't go into it, but I just want to show it to you so you guys can look at it in your chart. You can maybe write some notes down. So anyhow, 6 a.m., the moon's at 2 degrees Gemini, but it will hit Mars, conjunct Mars exactly by 8 p.m. tonight. And you can see that all the other aspects are exactly the same. So let's just focus in on the moon. And then, a little bit into Mars, because by the time I get to the morning chart of Tuesday, it's already going over the other side. So the moon always wants to connect. With Gemini, it's information and communication. And then conjuncting Mars. Mars is about motivation and movement. So there's going to be lots of talk. And maybe we can figure out what the talk is about. Well, with the trine up here to the sun, up here, see the double trine going on here. I think that it has to do with ways to, you may have some inner talk, which will help you get in touch with ways to think outside the box and free yourself. And you might have some really unique, original ideas that come through. And with the sun up here at 10 degrees Aquarius, the spotlight there will help you understand. It's on a deeper healing level. Those of you who are always doing your work, this will help you understand your hidden motivations. That's always a good thing to do, is to track your motive. Like, why do I want that? What's that about? Because there are so many things that we waste energy on that are just completely unnecessary. Like, what if we let go of some of these old ideas and just, what energy does that? It frees up energy, basically, when we let go. You have to let go of one thing to go towards the other often. It's like, think of Aries. You're going to crack up with this one, but because Mars rules Aries. Mars is the sexuality, the life force, And when the sperm hits the egg, it loses its tail. But it's not looking back going, oh man, where'd that go? Instead, it's moving towards the egg. It's like that. That's a really good analogy of how you can open up to having so much more when you let go of the old. So I think that's on the table for us personally today. And you can see that the square is still going on. So you still have that tension field between the past and the future. And so what do you really want? And, you can let go and get that. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. Because the moon, when the moon makes that connection to, I will say this, because this is important. When the moon connects, when it makes it all the way to Mars, what we're going to have is both of these planets in the quincunx inconjunct, which, just translate that into a need for adjustment. There's going to be an emotional need to adjust your consciousness. And I'll just say that, loosely, and you can use it however you want. But an adjustment's going to be need to be made in order to let go of the past. And then that, letting go of the past, will shoot you forward into the future. And there should not be an obstacle once you get to that place. So, yeah, okay. Let's go to Tuesday. And like I said, the moon's on the other side of Mars. And of course, Mars is still in that inconjunct, but the moon now is making that quincunx inconjunct to Mercury. So now the moon's talking to Mercury, going, oh, okay, I want to, I really, really, really want to let go of this. But what's the price to pay? There's almost always a price, but it's usually not as high as we think, right? Like, I don't know, what's one? Yeah, if you want to save some money, let's pretend. Oh, we're not. This is a terrible example, but I'll just make it anyway. If you want to save some money, you might decide to stop going to Starbucks every day and make your coffee at home. And then you realize, oh, yeah, there's that little bit of work, and I have to you got to make sure you have coffee at home, and you might miss the socializing in the morning, and things like that. But you won't be standing in line, and at the end of the month, you're going to save at least $150, right? Usually, somewhere in there, $100 to $150. And maybe I'm dating myself as to the last time I was ever in a Starbucks, but no judgment if that's like your favorite place to hang out. And that would be the thing, is you would be giving up that in order to save money. If you wanted to save the money so that you could put it somewhere else, right? Like if you're trying to, let's say, pay down a loan or something, it might be something that a person does. So that's a good example for that, or an example. I don't know how good it is, but best one I could come up with right now. And the moon in Gemini will start, dissecting those facts. And when it comes to, because Mercury in Capricorn, Capricorn wants to balance, well, you know what else? A lot of people are probably going to be starting to work on their taxes too. And then that's where you might realize, oh, wait, I spent that much this year on that? What? Or this much on that? And then you start making the adjustments. And then from there, the other aspect I could say about the moon to Mercury and that need for the adjustment, which is, in the morning. So because later on, as the moon moves, we'll lose this aspect here. So it's good to get this information in the morning. And then this also could be an adjustment that we're making because of a news dump on Tuesday. And boy, last week was intense, right? Okay, so you can see also that the sun at 11 degrees has the double trine to, of course, Mars and the moon. So, and the sun and Mars, they're going to be hanging out for a couple more days like that. But to have the trine to the moon, again, like I said before, always remember the sun shines a light. It's in a person's natal chart, it's your core energy. But in transits, we just look at it as something that illuminates, just like the moon does. But when we have this double, this like double trine, Mars and the moon, all combined with the sun, that's an awful lot of illumination. And it brings something up into our awareness. We really get the attention. Something comes up to our attention that we need to work with, or it's an aha moment, especially with that trine of Uranus up to Mercury all week long. So, or it might, well, that might fade. I'll see when we get there. Okay, let's keep going, I think. Well, there is that sesquisquare to Pluto. That is, actually should talk about that. Because Pluto and Capricorn can be stubborn, and the sesquisquare is a stubborn aspect. So there could be powerful people stubbornly digging their heels in, and the rest of us are talking about it and deciphering what people have said and what they say they're going to do, comparing it with what they've done in the past, because remember, of course, this aspect is still in effect. And I think it fades in a couple of days, but okay, so let's go forward. Wednesday, the moon is in Gemini, and now we have an inconjunct to Pluto. I have a couple things going on. Oh, actually, that one from Mars to the south node left, still in a little bit of a waning orb, though, from 10 to 8. That's only 2 degrees, but anyhow, this is the important one. So the moon, with the need for an adjustment in order to get your life under control, in order to powerfully go beyond, sound like Star Trek again, powerfully go your merry way in order to have more control over your own life. The moon and this ripe degree of Gemini, and it'll be in Cancer tomorrow, but so this is the last day to soak up all the information, the communications. This is great. It has been the last couple of days, great energy for getting things done, writing, emails, all those things. And then when the moon moves in Cancer, people are more inwardly drawn and more focused on the home, usually, home and family. So there might be some adjustments that way where you realize, oh man, I've spent so much time gathering facts and writing, things down. And so maybe the last few days have been good for getting tax papers together, things like that. Or, just gathering them and maybe getting them filed for those who just have a W-2 and, or whatever, 1099 or whatever, and you just do it online really quickly. But the rest of the aspects to the moon, we have we have the trine to Saturn, but I'm kind of tuned into this sesquisquare here up to the sun. There's that stubborn energy again, but it's waning. It's just for a little while, but there can be, I still have to it can be the energy of like, I still have to get this done. I'm not, I can't let go yet. And I think that's probably a good thing, because you want to make sure you have all your information, all your facts. You make sure if you're signing a contract, you've read it through thoroughly, and maybe you have an attorney going over it if it's something like that too, something really important. That's probably always wise. So let's see. Like I was saying, the trine up here to Saturn, 25 degrees Aquarius, is trining the moon. So again, both are air signs. Aquarius is fixed, so there's some stubborn kind of digging in. This could be, the GQP, the extreme. Well, we have to just say they're all extreme now. How many are left that aren't extreme? I don't know of any of them. Do you? If you do, let me know. Correct me, please. But with the 26-degree Gemini moon here, this brings in that connection to whatever's going on in the government, and then again, we're trying to assimilate facts. Yeah. Okay, so for Thursday, what do we have there? Yeah, like I said, the moon. We have a bleeding pen is what we have. Bleeding highlighter. The moon in Cancer. This is nice. 8 to 8 to, ooh, look at this, you guys. We have a grand water trine going on. Oh, look at that. Looky there. Okay. Moon trine, south node, Cancer to Scorpio. So this leg speaks to turning inward in a very powerful way. I always see the 8s as powerful numbers. And turning in order to get something done, because we're moving towards the 9. It's 8 degrees 49 minutes, 8 degrees 28 minutes. Venus is at the earlier side, but especially combining the moon to the south node, this is you know something from the past, and you feel like you're done, and you're getting ready to move on, but you're taking it in and figuring out. Because remember, Cancer always wants to be safe, just like Taurus does, but it's more like you feel it. With Taurus, it's really sensitive too, though. With Taurus, there's that awareness that you need stability and safety, and that is really, really important. But then there's the assimilation as to how you get that with Gemini. And then when we get to Cancer, we're like, okay, I know I need my home, my boundaries. I know what I need around me. And you're really sensitive to your surroundings. It is quite the awareness, just like Taurus, but this could be bringing in an awareness to maybe taking care of your family in a whole new way. And it could also be, especially because Cancer rules the roots, in the past, and the South Node is also the past. So there's really something about the past there. And then the North Node trining to Venus, and the Moon trining to Venus. There's our grand water trine. And Venus in Pisces brings in that compassion. So unity, Venus harmony, Venus, that values certain things. Venus rules our relationships and our money, our attitudes towards, the feminine, and in very compassionate Pisces. Well, this is certainly good for movies, art, film. That's redundant, I'm sorry. But film, gaseous substances too. But art, creativity, and then people that are needing support. Pisces is a very empathic sign. People who love music, and people who will devote themselves to a cause. And the cause may be children, or a parent, or a family member. And you know how to handle it based on the fact that you've been through it in the past. So whatever it is for you, you have everything you need to get it figured out and, create a lot of safety. Safety, security, and healthy boundaries too. If this is one of those connections that isn't healthy, it can be, this relationship I've been gaslighted, and I've been victimized, and so I'm going to take myself out of it because I'm not going through that anymore because I'm safe and secure here. It's just me. and I'm going to protect myself, right? Cancer is cardinal energy that moves. Cardinal, energy moves. Taurus, in contrast, is fixed energy that stays. It holds, it digs in, and it's like it doesn't move. So Scorpio doesn't move. Pisces is mutable. So we have the cardinal movement, the fixed, staying put, digging your heels in, and then the mutable of Pisces. So just if you've been victimized in the past by anybody, just don't play that game anymore, and then you're good. So okay, so let's look at. Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh my goodness, I missed 3 aspects here. The moon is also squaring. Oh boy, that just further reiterates what I just said. Jupiter and Chiron. So the same thing I was saying, and Aries is cardinal energy. So these, this square here, this double square to the moon, and as the moon goes this way, we're going to have a tighter square to Chiron. So yeah, healing energy, that tension field of having healthy boundaries is what I'm getting there. And that could just be on, like how you spend your time. Let's see. Here's the other one. The sextile from the moon to the North Node. But as it moves, there'll be a sextile to Uranus. So I'm going to include both because the energy, the approaching energy that we're going into, we always feel more. So this brings in, I love this. This brings in opportunities for breakthroughs, opportunities for those really strong, healthy boundaries. And you can feel it, and you can sense it, and you know what you want. And maybe it's a lot of like home redecorating or home getting things in a way to where there's more function in your home. You know what I didn't speak to, though, before? I think this has been going on. Maybe not. Maybe this is the first day. Mars right here with this sextile, let's see, 10 to, it's both, to, even though there's only one line, it's both. Mars sextile Jupiter and Chiron, there we have that energy. And then we still have that trine up to the sun. Yeah, the sun shining the spotlight and bringing in the awareness and the want, the longing, the desire for healing. Very good. Okay, so Friday, the moon's in Cancer, but by 9 p.m. it'll be in an exact opposition to Pluto. Notice how Pluto's at 28, the moon's at 20. It'll be an exact opposition. But for now, it's opposing, and this is good. I just love the way astrology works. the way the universe works is we're always given so many opportunities for healing. So here, so the moon is squaring Eris, so we have quite a little bit of courage here, emotional courage to set those healthy boundaries. And at first, it's going to oppose Mercury, right? But it's within orb. It's headed quickly to the opposition to Pluto. So first, this is what I love about astrology, is we get that connection to the messages that we need in order to have the safe, healthy boundaries. And, you know, another thing I forgot to mention about back there when we had that water trine, that grand water trine, those are all really psychic placements. So your intuition may be going crazy. And especially with Uranus up here trining Mercury, right? It's still, there's a waning trine, but it's still happening, right? It's it's leaving, but it's still there. So Pluto can be very psychic as well, but Cancer is definitely psychic as well as Scorpio and Pisces here. And the trine, whoops, let's change the colors here. Venus trining the south node there. So that one leg is still there. And this leg, or this trine over here to Neptune is in place with the moon. And as it moves, even closer, so 20 degrees to 23 degrees here from the Cancer moon to Neptune and Pisces, very psychic for the day. And then again, up to Pluto, I really feel like, oh my goodness, and then as well with Jupiter here to the south node in Scorpio, I think this is a major day where maybe you wake up from a dream and have some really deep guidance. I mean, even the sun to Mars, all of that. Information downloads. On the, political sphere and like news dumps, this is probably one of those days on Friday, February 3rd. Yeah. Okay, so let me move forward to Saturday. And the moon's in Leo. Lovely Leo. And we do have that exact opposition going on to Pluto. So, I forgot to say with yesterday's, I think you guys know because I've said it so many times, that oppositions bring in those conflicts. It's a mirror. It can often be one person here and one person here, and you're bouncing ideas off, or you're fighting. Or you're like, oh, this one has a great point of view, and then you're here. And with Leo to Capricorn, it can really help you get something done, because you can have, regardless of what signs are, whenever we have an opposition, it can lead to a breakthrough. But if you keep your heart open and let go of like my way or the highway, it can be great for really bringing in some power. Now, Pluto is really close to that anaretic degree, and I'm going to get that reading done for you. But just remember, it intensifies things, and Pluto's already the most intense planet we have. That's just what Pluto's about. So I'm thinking that on the political sphere, because of remember how we had the T-square up here to the sun? Well, we lost one leg of that, but it's still going on, right? The sun, see how the sun is still in that square to Uranus? So some shakeups, some information coming through that's conflicting and challenging. And then we have the square, the T-square. Remember how we had the T-square up there to the sun? Now we have the T-square down here to the moon, for the morning at least. Actually, let's see, 2. Oh, yeah. It's, well, nah. Yeah, it's going out of orb, but still 2 to 8. That's only 6 degrees. So a good part of the day, actually, we will be probably witnessing, because the moon represents the public. And then because of this opposition, I mean, this does look like an arrow, doesn't it? Right? If we think in terms of Pluto, as, and especially in Capricorn, as being people in power, government people, right? Saturn rules Capricorn. We've got Saturn here in Aquarius, which we need those new rules. We need those new laws implemented. And with the people in power, we're going to be, excuse me, sitting back and witnessing. And I think maybe for the first time, most people will be going, oh, I really, really do see what's going on now. Because something's coming out from the past. And it could be very, it's possible that it could be very shocking for some people. Okay, so we also have the moon trine. Wait, let's talk about this personally. For you guys personally, the moon can just help you, in Leo, can help you open your heart and then use that wisdom from the past to bring you to bring you forward in the way that you want to go. So it could be some downloads, some information about, that comes into your awareness because it comes in through your heart and your body, and you realize you really want to do this type of, whatever this is, do a different type of project or work, or is something you can put your heart into. And it's because you've done something else in the past and it was good, but now you're realizing, oh, I'll take that and I'll add this. But it's not totally in form yet, so there's where we have a little challenge. It's just working out the kinks of something. And then with the trine over here to Jupiter, so see how Jupiter's at 6, trining the moon. Oops. Jupiter, I just can't draw a straight line. Jupiter is inspiration. New Aries inspiration with Jupiter. Excellent. Yep, everything's the same. Okay, with the other aspects. Now, so we're done for the week, but I'm going to keep my hands away from this chart. So if you want to screenshot it, you can figure out where the full moon is in your natal chart. It's at 16 degrees coming in. See how it's exactly opposite the sun? I know you can see it right there. The sun's inching its way towards Saturn. Saturn can be really serious, but in Aquarius it can definitely, as long as we can stay in our heart with that Leo moon, that full moon, what can happen is that there's some new freedom to do something that you really, really love. That's what I'm seeing. So look and see where the full moon will land in your chart, which house. And then there you are. And you also have, so whatever house it lands in is that area of your life that will be illuminated and all of that. And we also have that trine to Jupiter and Chiron. And so that's square to Uranus, so there is a little tension there. But I'll talk all about that next week. I just wanted to give you this chart for now. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Take good care, you guys. Bye.